Greetings, Dan here, 5th of November. So the purpose of the video today is to look at the lovely crops currently growing in this straw bale raised beds. So I'll link some videos in the description box below. You can check those out if you wish, and you can learn more about the history of this bed. So let's see what we've got growing in here. Greetings, Dan here, 19th of August. So I've got the plants here, seedlings, whatever you want to call them, of the seeds I sowed previously. So I'm going to be planting them out today. So some are going to go here. So here they are, look, all planted out. Going to be covering them over this mesh here. I got this off of eBay. If you have a look on eBay for mesh, just make sure you secure it properly like so. Don't let this dry out. Going to water these all in, and we'll see how they do. So we'll start with the Swiss Chard variety Bright Lights. So lovely colours here, and the crops are actually looking really nice. Not too many slug holes, which is great. So one good thing about the time I planted these was it still left enough time for the plants to make a good size before about this time of year. So it's getting a bit on the chilly side now, the days are getting shorter, and that can make plant growth come to a standstill or at least slow down. So certainly it's good to get them in, you know, when I did. And of course you could get them in before that as well. So these are really lovely and a nice harvest here. So I'm not going to strip these too much. I'm going to leave them like this because, as I stated, they won't grow too much now. So I'll slowly harvest these throughout the winter, and then when the weather proceeds to warm up next year, then the plants will come into growth. So you get like a second flush, if you will. So that's really nice, and we've got some really beautiful Swiss Chard leaves to eat here. These, as well as all the other crops I've got growing in here, are very nutritious and absolute delicious crops to grow. So here we are. There's a few of them there, look. Next up, we'll have lettuce all the year round. So this is a nice lettuce, so let's have some of that. Now, I've got a little heart there, and I do like this lettuce. This is nice to have in sandwiches for work. It's got sort of like a earthy, mild lettuce taste, not too strong, but it is one of my favourites, and I do grow it quite often. So we're going to move on to beetroot now. So I've got two varieties of beetroot here, Boltardy on this side, and this is White Albino. So they're not big roots, but they should be nice and sweet. And also they've got the tops that you can eat as well, which is really lovely. So one thing I've found about White Albino beetroot is it seems to keep better in the ground than, say, a standard purple beetroot, if you want to refer to it as that. And this can be very beneficial. I'll just give you a closer example of this now. So I've got some different varieties of beetroot that I sowed earlier in the year here. So this here is Golden Detroit beetroot, and these are starting to look a little bit on the ropey side now. Probably not all of them, but certainly some of them. So you can see them ones there like that. But some of them are still okay. But I really want to be harvesting these, you know, pretty soon if I can. But I'll show you here. So these are the White Albino ones. And as I look at these, they still look really sort of nice. And I actually harvested some of these earlier in the year that had been in the ground, or at least planted, for over a year. So if you're looking into a beetroot that does seem to do a little bit better over the colder months without losing flavour, going too woody, etc., something like White Albino beetroot could be something you might want to look into. So over here we have very much a curiosity. So I've got a lettuce here, Reine de Glaces. I don't know if that's how you say it, but quite a lot of history behind it. I think the variety is about 200 years old. So I'll let you have a look at this. I'll get a few up and then we'll have some close-ups. So there you go, look. They look quite nice, making a little head on them there. So these heads should get bigger. They probably need a little bit longer, you know, to reach their full potential, but taste-wise, incredibly crispy. Yeah, that's a nice one. That would be certainly very nice in a sandwich. So lettuce, good old Lola Rossa. We do like Lola Rossa, or indeed I do anyway. It's an Italian lettuce. There you go, nice bit of Lola Rossa. And over here we have good old Boltardy. So once again, you can eat the tops as well. and nice sized roots there. Nice for pickling when they're small like that. So there we are, some lovely harvests there, chard, beetroot and lettuce. Really happy with that, and you can see what is possible with such a small growing space area. It doesn't have to be in a straw bale raised bed, could be in the open ground. That'll be good as well, but plenty more to be coming as well. So it can be very tempting, you know, in the summer and in the autumn when you're busy harvesting, not to be thinking too much about the next stage of gardening. Of course, in the spring, many gardeners, most gardeners think, oh, what should I plant, you know, ready for later harvests? But summertime, autumn time, you know, it's not sometimes as easy to have that mindset, but it can be very good to keep the mindset all year round if you can, with regards to planting, what you can plant at certain times of year, when it's going to be ready for, what you can put in when that comes out, etc, etc. Just plenty of research, reading, watching videos, etc, but you'll sort of get a little mindset about what works in your particular area. Of course, it varies from climate to climate as well. So, for example, here, when we get frosts, we're in USDA zone 8B here. You know, you wouldn't want to be planting out something like cucumbers at this time of year, or indeed even when I sown these, you wouldn't really want to be planting, you know, something like squash, for example. Once again, something that's not frost hardy. You want to make sure that it can withstand the weather that is up and coming, because, you know, cold weather, it's a little bit here now. I think we went down to about 2 degrees C last night. It's still been quite mild around here actually, but I think you get the idea. Frost hardy stuff to be grown over winter. Anyway, there we go. So as always, thanks for your time. Thank you for viewing, and please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.